Hi guys, this is Duncan from Stadia Source here. I'm just going to go through 5 things that I think Stadia should do in 2020. This is because next year is going to be crucial for Stadia going forward. With Stadia base launching in the coming months, this will be Stadia's first real impression with the masses. Getting this right will be important, and I have 5 things I think Stadia must do in the coming year. Number 1, show the power. Stadia works if you meet the requirements of the service. Even a lot of the journalistic critics have moved on from the does the Stadia work question. The argument made against Stadia now in these circles is where is Stadia's power? This is a fair question. We have seen in some games that the power is there, for example the Tomb Raider trilogy, which is being compared to the Xbox One X version. While this is still under the touted power of Stadia, it is showing that there is some growth there. With other games like Rage 2, which we have featured on this channel, there is a clear and obvious downgrade in quality compared to the Xbox One X version. Where is the 10.5 teraflops of power hiding? While there could be a case made that it doesn't matter as it's better than the base console versions, 2020 will see the release of the next generation of consoles, with the current showing Stadia will not even be in the same ballpark. At present, you are not making any big sacrifices to play on Stadia as it's beyond the good enough stage. My hope as Stadia matures is that the porting process becomes easier to get the games onto Stadia and we begin to see the power difference going forward in 2020. If Stadia starts to show the power and is in and around the same level of the next gen consoles, this will give people pause to think, should I get a next generation console for £450 to $500 mark, or give Stadia a try for free? If the latter, free sounds a lot better than buying a console for a significant amount of money. Number 2, Stadia only features. Stadia has a massive advantage over the other gaming platforms. Stadia are cloud only. This will allow them to do things that traditional consoles and platforms cannot. We have already seen this with Ghost Recon Breakpoint and the Stream Connect feature. We won't see a big AAA Stadia exclusive game showing all that Stadia has to offer for a couple of years yet. However, there are many existing games which can be adapted to show Stadia's cloud-only features. This should be a prioritization of Stadia going forward this year. Getting a game to show off the features of Stadia could create a viral hit of a game. This lends itself into more of Stadia's strengths. For example, a Mario Maker-like game, and you can have people try a level by sharing a link on YouTube. There is a game out there already called Super Smash, which is similar to Mario Maker. This game makes games within the game, and these levels can be shared. If you stream your game on YouTube, and this should be up there as a list of features which Stadia need to implement soon, you can link the level within your game with State Share. This can then be launched from the YouTube video. This also feeds into some of the other integrations into YouTube. For example, Crowdplay, which allows you to play with your favourite YouTubers. Or they could launch a game, this is Stadia, that gets played on YouTube 24/7 and the winner stays on. And this will bring back the days of the arcade. Stadia has so much potential and possibilities, and I hope to see some of them in 2020. Number 3, improved communication. This is a little boring and straight-laced compared to the others, however, if anything, this is one of the most important. Communication is vital to Stadia going forward. Since the first announcement, this has been Stadia's number 1 flaw. The mantra I would like them to adopt is under-promise and over-deliver. At the moment, Stadia seem to be over-promising and under-delivering. Keep expectations low, and when you meet or exceed them, it looks a lot better than promising to go to the moon and only getting to orbit, which they did with the launch. Getting Stadia off the ground working at the level of current consoles should have been the goal to start off with. Instead, they came out and said 10 teraflops and 4K 60 FPS. Going forward, set realistic, lower targets and keep the more ambitious ones for internal use unless you can hit them. Also with communication, even though it has improved since launch, it is still a bit of a mess. To get a full picture of what Stadia is doing, you need to check numerous different sites. You have to check Reddit, you have to check Google blog posts, Stadia blog posts, Discord, just to find out what's going on. There is no definite place to get the full picture on Stadia, apart from Stadia's source, of course. Even though the communication has improved, there does seem to be a lot of the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. For example, when achievements were launched, hours before, Stadia did a Stadia save point, and it didn't even mention that achievements were coming. This was the monthly update. This was a bit of an own goal in that regard. Lastly, on communication, listen to the community. Stadia's community, for the most part, is awesome. If most of the community is up in an uproar about something, there must be a good reason for this. The Stadia community will be the biggest fans and at times the harshest critics. Listen to them. Number 4, games. Looking around the community, Stadia has kickstarted a lot of gaming for many people. With this, people are completing a lot more games. While Stadia's game list for a launch lineup is quite big and varied, we are approaching the point where there aren't many things for people want to play. Games are the lifeblood of the system, and we are now at the point that we need another Stadia Connect to let us know what is coming. While we know some games like Cyberpunk are coming, I would like to know what is coming both in the shorter and longer term. While it would be good to have most games in Stadia, I have said and still stick to it's about getting the right games onto Stadia. Games, in my view, should not be put onto Stadia for just getting the games onto the service. A steady flow of games of all types and sizes should be a key goal for Stadia going forward. These games should be of a reasonable quality, because if the store is flooded with cheap, poor quality games, it lessens the look of Stadia. Longer term, opening the floodgates for games maybe can happen, but short term, a more measured approach is needed. As I previously mentioned, I think we need a Stadia Connect sharpish into the new year to set out what games are coming short term and glimpse longer term. Adding into this, a pre-order and a calendar of games will be very useful to allow people to plan what games they're going to get on Stadia for the year ahead. The elephant in the room for games in Stadia is the first-party exclusive games. Exclusive games are important as they normally showcase a system and can influence which platform to buy and get invested in. So far, Stadia only seemed to start their first-party studios last year. Unless they have a studio or two which we have not known about, big first-party games will, in my view, unlikely come this year. I would expect a fair number of paid-for exclusive games for Stadia this year. That may be timed exclusively, like what happened with the rise of the Tomb Raider on Xbox, or outright exclusivity for the game, like Sunset Overdrive on the Xbox. We do know, however, there is some smaller exclusive games coming to the Stadia this year in Get Packed and Orcs Must Die Free. Games are vital going forward for Stadia. When Stadia base launches, I would hope we would get a fair number of new games. I would also think there may be a large acquisition around that time just to help with the momentum for Stadia going into the Stadia base launch. Also, another elephant in the room is the free-to-play game situation, and a decision needs to be made on this. Will we be able to play them for only pro users, or will base users be able to use them? I personally feel that free-to-play games should be included on base, as it would help increase the Stadia player base and have the trickle-down approach of having more users for all other games as well. Number 5, a Game Pass-like service. When Stadia was first announced, and up to a couple of weeks ago, I did not think Stadia needed a Game Pass-like service. I thought it would be nice to have, but not essential, as it looks like we will have a number of subscription services coming to Stadia in 2020. This includes Uplay Plus, which we have had announced, and I also believe EA Access will come. My feelings of this have changed quite significantly, as I feel Game Pass-like service should be their number one priority now. The reason for this is the backward compatibility of the next generation of consoles. Both Microsoft and Sony have confirmed that this is going to be happening, and in Microsoft's case they have confirmed that they're going to look at improving the quality of these backward compatible titles on the Xbox Series X. Going into the next generation, you will see that if you've invested into the other platforms, you'll bring a significant amount of content with you into the next generation. This can be used as a hook to continue playing on the other platforms. The more games you have, the bigger the hook, especially if you've got these games digitally. So while the zero cost for Stadia looks good on paper, when you start to add in the additional costs for games and no existing library of games, it starts to look a bit more expensive. To get the best experience on Stadia, you will need a Chromecast Ultra and the Stadia controller, so this adds money to the upfront costs of Stadia. So for Stadia, while the cost will be lower in the longer term, short term, you will have a reasonably significant outlay to get the best experience, and then you need to buy the games on top of that. It is worth noting that with Game Pass, that Microsoft's first-party games go straight into it. So when the Xbox Series X launches next year, 2 significant titles will be already there: Halo Infinite and the next Forza Motorsport. Sony has also responded to this by starting to add their major exclusives to PS Now, which is a mixture between cloud gaming and Game Pass, but their games are not going in at launch. To counter this, Stadia needs a Game Pass-like service to make the transition to Stadia easier and more tempting. A reasonably large library of games with good games in the Stadia Pass will address this concern. If Stadia does not add a Game Pass-like service, it may become a tough sell to the existing console players. I do, however, believe that there is a Game Pass service coming, but it hasn't been announced due to the lack of games on Stadia at the moment. So in my view, a Game Pass system will happen, but we have to wait till the games come to a significant level. What do you think? What do you want from Stadia in 2020? Comment below, and if you like what you're seeing here, hit the subscribe button there. Thanks for watching. Bye.